how have we got to this point? I mean, how bad did ties get under the previous Prime Minister Scott Morrison, and what's happened, to make this kind of a visit possible?
Of course, over the last decade, we had seen a significant downturn in the relationship. It began with Australia banning Huawei from participating in the 5G rollout, and then, of course, Australia's suggestion that there be further inquiries into the origins of COVID-19 and China's role in that. And from there, the relationship really deteriorated. China imposed a number of sanctions on Australian goods. So over the last 7 years, we've moved from something that was quite strong and deep to almost a diplomatic freeze. So I think we're seeing incremental moves to the stabilisation of the relationship and hopefully from here towards a more normalised relationship.
At the same time as Australia is kind of, as you say, stabilising this relationship with China, it's also pursuing, closer security partnership with the US. Albanese has just been in the US visiting President Biden, their landmark AUKUS submarine deal. How is Australia managing or not managing to balance these two relationships, given the competition between the US and China?
That word that you just used around balance is really the key word in this landscape right now. What we've seen of recent months, I think, has been a language related to strategic equilibrium, this idea that for Australia, a middle power that does have to work with a number of countries in the region, as well as with its ally, the United States, and its number one trading partner, China. Now, it's a difficult game to play, but that's what diplomacy is all about.
What do you see happening next in the Australia-China relationship?
That this is a relationship that has to find a new footing. Times have changed. The context has changed. The region is changing. We have seen China, for example, over the last couple of months, remove some of the tariffs that had been in place in the preceding 5 years. That's a great sign. We also saw the release of detained Australian Chang just a couple of weeks ago. So these are all positive signs of a relationship that is rebuilding, is repairing, and finding a new and more normal footing in the diplomatic landscape.